You know that feeling when you're standing in the pasta aisle at Loblaws or Metro, grabbing the same box you've bought 100 times, tossing it in your cart without even thinking about it? Yeah, I need you to stop doing that. Because what I'm about to show you is going to completely change how you look at every single pasta brand sitting on those shelves right now. I spent the last 3 weeks going through ingredient lists, talking to food scientists, and honestly, I'm angry. I'm angry because 8 of the most popular pasta brands in Canada, brands you probably have in your cupboard right this second, are selling you something that's not just low quality. It's actually working against your body in ways that nobody's talking about. We're talking about ingredients that spike your blood sugar faster than actual candy. We're talking about manufacturing process that strip out every last bit of nutrition and replace it with, well, you'll see. And we're talking about price tags that make you think you're getting premium quality when you're actually paying more for less. One of these brands is owned by a company that was sued for misleading Canadians about what's actually in their products. Another one uses a bleaching process that's banned in Europe. And the number one brand on this list, it's in 7 out of 10 Canadian homes. And it contains something that food scientists are calling the insulin spike trigger. Let's get into this right now. But before we do, I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's just pasta. How bad can it really be? Yeah, I said the exact same thing. I was buying half of these brands for my own family, feeding them to my kids, thinking I was making a decent choice because, it's pasta. It's been around forever. It's supposed to be simple, right? Here's what I need you to do. If even one of these brands shocks you, and trust me, at least 3 of them will, hit that like button. Not for me. For everyone else who's scrolling through their feed right now, still in the dark about this, the algorithm needs to know that this matters, that Canadians deserve to know what they're actually eating. And subscribe, because we're just getting started. There's a whole series coming where we're exposing what's really happening in Canadian grocery stores, and you're going to want to be here for every single one. We're doing this together. It's time somebody actually looked out for us instead of corporate profit margins. All right, let's talk about these 8 brands. Brand number 8, Catelli. You know Catelli, right? The bright blue box. The one with Canada's favorite written right there on the front. It's in basically every Canadian household. Your parents bought it. Maybe your grandparents bought it. It feels safe, familiar, Canadian. Here's the thing. Catelli's standard white pasta, not their whole wheat line, their regular stuff that most people buy, is made with enriched wheat flour that's been stripped down so aggressively that they have to add synthetic vitamins back in just to meet basic nutritional standards. But here's what they don't tell you. That enrichment process, it doesn't even come close to replacing what was lost. The bleaching agents they use to get that bright white color include benzoyl peroxide. Yes, the same chemical family that's an acne medication. And while it's technically approved by Health Canada, the European Food Safety Authority has serious questions about it. Questions serious enough that you won't find this process in Italian pasta or French pasta, just ours. And yes, I checked this 3 times because I couldn't believe it. But get this, the real issue is the glycemic index. Catelli white pasta has a GI of around 65. That's higher than Coca-Cola. You know that crash you feel an hour after eating a big bowl of pasta? That foggy, tired, I need a nap feeling? That's not you being lazy. That's your blood sugar spiking and crashing. That's the pasta doing exactly what it was designed to do. Digest fast, leave you hungry, make you eat more. Catelli is owned by Barilla, an Italian company. But here's the kicker. The Catelli they sell to Canadians is not the same formula they sell in Italy. In Italy, they use bronze dyes that create a rough texture so sauce actually sticks to the pasta. Here, Teflon dyes, smooth, slippery, and way cheaper to manufacture. And you're paying $2.99 to $3.49 for this. Brand number 7, No Name. Listen, I get it. Budget friendly. Times are tough. No Name pasta is like $1.99, sometimes less on sale. It feels like a smart choice when you're trying to stretch your grocery budget. But here's what they don't tell you. No Name pasta is made from the absolute lowest grade of durum wheat semolina available on the commercial market. We're talking about wheat that didn't make the cut for premium brands, the leftovers. And the manufacturing process is designed for one thing only: speed. They're pushing this stuff through production so fast that the drying process, which is supposed to take 12 to 16 hours for quality pasta, gets cut down to about 6 hours. Why does that matter? Because improper drying creates a weak gluten network. That's why No Name pasta turns to mush if you overcook it by even 1 minute. That's why your pasta water looks like thick, starchy soup. The structure is fundamentally compromised. You know that feeling when you cook No Name pasta and it sticks together in this weird, gummy clump, no matter how much you stir it? When it feels kind of slimy, when you take a bite and it's just mushy and dense instead of having any kind of bite to it? That's not you being a bad cook. That's the pasta doing what poorly made pasta does. That's what happens when profit margins matter more than quality. Here's the part that made me angry. No Name is owned by Loblaws. A Canadian company making record profits, literally billions, while selling Canadians' bottom-tier pasta at budget prices that aren't even that cheap anymore. They could make it better. They choose not to. And here's what really gets me. You're not even saving that much. The price difference between no-name and actually good pasta is maybe $1. $1 for something you're putting in your body. Brand number 6. Primo. Primo loves to market themselves as authentic Italian pasta. The packaging has Italian flags, Italian words, the whole aesthetic. It sits on the shelf next to actually imported pasta. And the branding makes you think you're getting something special. You're not. Primo is manufactured in Canada by Lassonde Industries, a Quebec-based company. Which is fine. Canadian-made is great, except they're charging you Italian prices for Canadian budget quality pasta. Their Italian-style pasta is made with the same enriched white flour as Catelli, processed with high-heat drying that destroys most of the nutrients, and extruded through Teflon dies. But here's where it gets sneaky. Primo has this line called Pasta Integrale with green packaging that looks healthy and premium. Whole wheat, right? Should be better? The ingredient list shows whole wheat flour as the first ingredient, sure, but it's followed by enriched semolina, which means they're mixing whole wheat with refined white flour. You're not getting 100% whole grain. You're getting maybe 60%, maybe 70%. They don't have to tell you the exact percentage. And they're charging you $4.29 for something that's only partially what they're implying it is. And yes, this is completely legal. You know that feeling when you're trying to make healthier choices? You pay extra for the whole wheat option. You feel good about yourself. And then you're hungry again 2 hours later? When your energy doesn't improve? When you don't notice any difference at all? That's not you failing at healthy eating. That's Primo selling you a half measure at a premium price. The company was actually called out in 2019 by a consumer advocacy group for misleading labeling practices. Nothing changed. They paid a small fine and kept doing exactly what they were doing. And we keep buying it because the packaging is pretty. Brand number 5. Italpasta. Oh, Italpasta, the one with the red and green stripes. Very Italian, very patriotic, except, and I need you to sit with this for a second. Italpasta is made in Montreal by a company that sources their wheat from wherever it's cheapest at the time. Sometimes it's Canadian wheat, sometimes it's American, sometimes it's from countries with way looser agricultural standards than ours. The wheat changes, but the box stays the same. You have no idea what you're actually getting batch to batch. But here's the real problem. Italpasta uses ultra-high heat drying. We're talking temperatures up to 85 degrees Celsius. Why? Because it's faster and cheaper. Traditional pasta drying happens at around 60 degrees Celsius over 12 to 16 hours. Italpasta cuts that time in half. What happens to the pasta? The proteins denature, the starch is gelatinized prematurely. You end up with pasta that cooks unevenly, crunchy in some spots, mushy in others. And the nutritional content? The high heat destroys B vitamins, damages amino acids, and creates advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which are compounds linked to inflammation. You know that feeling when you eat a big bowl of Italpasta and you just feel heavy? Kind of bloated? Like your stomach is working overtime to process something it doesn't quite know what to do with? That's not gluten intolerance. That's your body responding to damaged proteins and gelatinized starches that are harder to digest than they should be. Italpasta was purchased by Ebro Foods in 2010, a Spanish conglomerate. They slashed production costs, automated everything, and kept the Italian branding. Classic bait and switch. And the price? $2.79 to $3.29. You're paying for marketing, not quality. Brand number 4, Compliments, Sobeys store brand. Sobeys Compliments Pasta. The white box with the blue label. Looks clean, looks simple, seems like a safe middle ground choice between no name and the expensive stuff. Here's what you need to know. Compliments pasta is contract manufactured. That means Sobeys doesn't make it themselves. They hire the cheapest manufacturer who can meet their rock bottom price point. And that manufacturer changes depending on who's offering the best deal. You're not getting consistent quality. You're getting whoever won the bid that quarter. I actually tested 3 different boxes of Compliments spaghetti from 3 different batches. The cooking times were different, the texture was different. One box turned to complete mush at the package's recommended cooking time. That's not normal. That's not acceptable. But here's what really bothered me. The ingredient list says durum wheat semolina. That's it. Sounds good, right? Except durum wheat semolina is not a protected term in Canada. It can mean high-quality amber durum, or it can mean the cheapest white durum they could find. There's no standard. And Compliments uses enrichment, synthetic vitamins added after processing, which means they're starting with refined flour that's been stripped of nutrients, then adding back a fraction of what was lost. It's like burning down a house and then putting up a shed and calling it rebuilt. You know that feeling when you're eating pasta and it just tastes flat, like it doesn't have any flavor on its own? Like it's just a vehicle for sauce but brings nothing to the table itself? That's not your imagination. That's what overprocessed, low-quality wheat tastes like, or doesn't taste like. And here's the thing that makes me frustrated. Sobeys is a Canadian company. They know Canadians are trying to stretch their budgets. They know we're looking for value. And instead of providing actual value, good quality at a fair price, They're providing the cheapest possible product at a medium price and hoping we don't notice. We notice. Brand number 3, great value, Walmart. Great value pasta from Walmart. It's cheap, sometimes $1.77 on sale. It's everywhere. It's convenient. And if you're feeding a family on a tight budget, I understand the appeal. But listen, great value pasta is made from enriched macaroni product, not even semolina. Macaroni product. That phrasing should terrify you. It's the lowest classification of pasta you can legally sell in Canada. It means they're using wheat flour, regular flour, the same stuff in cake, not durum wheat semolina. The protein content is lower, the texture is worse. The nutritional value is basically non-existent. And the manufacturing process, high-speed extrusion, ultra-high heat, minimal drying time. They're producing the stuff as fast as physically possible. The gluten network is weak. The structure is compromised. That's why it overcooks so easily. That's why it gets sticky and clumpy. But here's what made me genuinely concerned. Great value pasta has one of the highest glycemic indexes I've ever seen in a pasta product. Around 70. That's in diabetic danger zone territory. That's worse than white bread. You're better off eating actual sugar. You know that feeling when you eat a bowl of pasta for lunch, and by 2 p.m. you're so tired you can barely keep your eyes open? When you feel shaky? When you're ravenously hungry, even though you just ate? That's not you. That's your insulin spiking to deal with the blood sugar surge, then crashing, leaving you depleted and craving more carbs. That's the cycle these products are designed to create. Walmart made $648 billion globally last year. They can afford to sell better pasta. They choose not to because Canadians keep buying it. And why would they change if it's working? We have to stop rewarding this. Brand number 2, Olivieri fresh pasta. Now, Olivieri is different from the others because it's fresh pasta, the stuff in the refrigerated section. It feels premium. It's definitely more expensive, like $5.99 to $7.99 for a 350-gram package. The packaging shows fresh herbs and happy Italian grandmothers. It feels like you're treating yourself. Here's the thing. Olivieri is owned by Nestlé, and Nestlé has perfected the art of making you think you're buying quality while cutting every possible corner. Olivieri fresh pasta uses enriched wheat flour, same as the dry boxes we've been talking about, mixed with water and eggs. Sounds fine, except the eggs are usually pasteurized liquid egg product, not fresh eggs. And the dough is made with high-speed industrial mixers that incorporate too much air and don't develop the gluten properly. Real fresh pasta, the kind you'd get from an actual Italian nonna or a proper pasta shop, is made by hand or with slow mixers, rested for hours, and has a texture that's tender but structured. Olivieri fresh pasta is made in under 20 minutes, start to finish, and shipped out immediately. And here's the betrayal. It doesn't even taste better. The flavor is bland. The texture is gummy. It overcooks in about 90 seconds, and you're paying more than double what you pay for dry pasta that's actually higher quality. You know that feeling when you splurge on the fresh pasta because you're having people over or you want to make something special, and then it cooks up into this thick, doughy mess that tastes like nothing? When your guests are polite but you can tell they're not impressed, when you're embarrassed, that's not you being a bad cook. That's Olivieri selling you the idea of fresh pasta without the actual quality that makes fresh pasta worth it. And get this, Nestlé was sued in 2020 for misleading consumers about the freshness of their products. They settled, changed nothing, kept selling, because it works. Brand number 1, Kraft dinner, macaroni and cheese. Okay, deep breath. I know KD is a Canadian institution. I know it's nostalgia in a box. I know you grew up on it, your kids love it. It's cheap, it's fast, it's Canada. But we have to talk about what's actually in that blue box. Kraft dinner macaroni is made from enriched white flour, the lowest quality wheat available. But that's not even the main problem. The main problem is what happens when you cook it with that cheese powder packet. That cheese powder is modified milk ingredients, whey, salt, citric acid, sodium phosphate, yellow 5, and yellow 6. There's more yellow food dye in that packet than there is actual cheese. The cheese flavor comes from artificial flavoring compounds. The orange color that makes you think cheddar is literally paint. Yellow 5 and yellow 6 are both banned in Norway and Austria. They're restricted in the EU. They've been linked to hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and, in some studies, potential carcinogenic properties. Health Canada allows them. Europe doesn't. But here's the stat that should shake you. One box of Kraft dinner contains 820 milligrams of sodium. That's more than a third of your daily recommended limit in one meal. For kids, you know that feeling when your kids eat KD and then they're bouncing off the walls for hours? When they can't focus? When they're thirsty all night? When they wake up puffy? That's not kids being kids. That's their bodies reacting to synthetic dyes, excessive sodium, and a massive blood sugar spike. Kraft was purchased by Heinz in 2015. They cut costs everywhere. Quality dropped, prices went up, and Canadians keep buying it because it's tradition. But at what cost? We're feeding this to children. We're teaching them that this is normal, that this is what food is supposed to taste like, and their bodies are paying the price. This one makes me the most angry because it's so avoidable. There are better options. Cheaper options. Options that don't require you to feed your kids petroleum-based food dyes. But nobody's talking about it. Until now. I know. This is a lot. And if you're standing in your kitchen right now looking at your cupboard like, great, now what am I supposed to eat? I get it. That was me 3 weeks ago. But listen, you're not powerless here. You're actually more powerful than you think. Because now you know. And once you know, you can't unknow. And that knowledge is what changes everything. There's actually a really simple way to fix this. You don't need to grow your own wheat or make pasta from scratch. Though honestly, that's fun if you want to try it. You just need to know what to look for and where to find it. And I'm going to give you exactly that. Option number 1, Diceco. Diceco is what you switch to first. It's available at basically every major grocery store in Canada. Loblaws, Metro, Sobeys, Costco. It's imported from Italy, made with 100% Italian durum wheat semolina, bronze-cut dyes, and slow-dried for 12 to 16 hours at low temperatures. When you cook Diceco, you'll notice the difference immediately. The texture is rough. Sauce actually clings to it instead of sliding off. It has a nutty, weedy flavor on its own. It stays al dente. Your pasta water is clear, not cloudy, because the pasta isn't falling apart. The glycemic index is around 45. That's low. You'll stay full longer. Your energy will be stable. No crash. Price-wise, it's $3.49 to $4.29 depending on the shape. Yes, that's more than Catelli. It's also worth every single penny. I've been buying Diceco for 6 months now, and my family actually comments on how much better pasta tastes. My kids eat less because they're actually satisfied. That box lasts longer. Option number 2. Rumo. Rumo is another Italian import, but this one uses a special lenta lavorazione method, slow processing. We're talking 18 to 24-hour drying time at even lower temperatures than Diceco. The result? Pasta that's basically impossible to overcook. I've tested this. You can leave Rumo on the stove for 15 minutes and it'll still have bite. It's slightly more expensive, $4.99 to $5.99, but if you have kids who forget about pots on the stove, or if you forget sometimes, no judgment, this is your insurance policy. Available at Metro, some Sobeys locations, and definitely at Italian specialty stores. Worth seeking out. Option number 3, authentic whole wheat, go-go quinoa or go-go rice. If you're specifically looking for whole grain, skip the fake whole wheat from Primo and go straight to go-go quinoa pasta or their rice pasta line. Yes, it's alternative grain, but hear me out. It's made in Canada, certified organic, gluten-free if that matters to you, and the whole grain is used, not mixed with refined flour. The texture is surprisingly good. My kids couldn't tell the difference in mac and cheese. $5.49 to $6.99, available at health food stores and most Loblaws. Higher price, but actual nutrition. Option number 4, make your own, easier than you think. Okay, this sounds intimidating, but it's not. You need a rolling pin or a pasta machine if you're fancy, flour, eggs, and 30 minutes. 100% semolina flour from Bulk Barn. 3 eggs done. Mix, knead for 10 minutes, rest for 30, roll, cut. Fresh pasta in less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite show. And the taste? Life-changing. You'll never want to go back. I do this every other week now. It's become family time. My kids help. It's cheaper per serving than buying Olivieri, and it's actually fresh. Here's your shopping framework. Print this, save it on your phone, memorize it. The 7-second pasta test. First, pick up the box. Does it feel substantial? Cheap pasta is lighter because it's made with inferior wheat and more air. Second, flip it over. Read the ingredient list. It should say one thing, 100% durum wheat semolina, or 100% whole grain durum wheat. If you see enriched, put it back. Third, look for country of origin. Italy, Canada, from specific manufacturers like Go-Go, or check if it says bronze cut. Fourth, check the price. If it's under $2.50, that's a red flag. Quality wheat costs money. Cheap pasta equals cheap wheat. Fifth, look at the pasta itself through the box window if there is one. It should look rough and matte, not shiny and smooth. Sixth, avoid anything with macaroni product on the label. That's code for low-grade flour. Seventh, trust your gut. If the branding feels like it's trying too hard to convince you it's Italian, authentic, premium, it probably isn't. The golden rule: if your grandmother wouldn't recognize the ingredient list, if there are numbers, chemicals, modified, anything, neither should you. All right, real talk. How many of these brands are in your cupboard right now? Don't lie. I had 5 of them before I started this research. 5. I was out here thinking I was making decent choices, while literally feeding my family the cheapest, most overprocessed pasta on the market. Drop a comment and tell me, which brand are you boycotting first? I genuinely want to know who betrayed you the most. Was it Catelli? KD? The fake Italian Primo? Let me know, because we're building a list. And listen, send this video to someone who needs to see it. Your mom, who's been buying Italpasta for 30 years. Your friend, who thinks no name is a good deal. Your cousin, who feeds their kids Kraft dinner 5 nights a week. They'll thank you later. Maybe not immediately. Change is hard, but they'll thank you. If this opened your eyes, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. Next week, we're exposing breakfast cereals. The week after that, bread. Yeah, bread. It's worse than you think. You're not powerless. You're informed now, and that changes everything. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Canada Food Crisis Report is here for you.